Hey, I'm Barbara O'Neill, and if you're over 50 and struggling with persistent coughs or respiratory issues, this might just change your life. Did you know that a simple combination of Celtic salt and honey can naturally support your respiratory health and provide relief like nothing else? It's an age-old remedy packed with modern benefits, and I'm here to share exactly how it works. Stay with me, you won't want to miss this. And as a special thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment about why you want to win my best-selling book.
Whereas the Celtic salt, it's a hand-harvested sea salt. They wait till all the water evaporates. And you'll notice when you buy Celtic salt, it's grey. Hasn't been bleached, and it's very, very high in minerals. In fact, that Celtic salt has 3 magnesiums: magnesium sulfate, magnesium bromide, and magnesium chloride. And magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, so it pulls water into itself. And that's why when it's raining a lot, you look at your Celtic salt, it'll go really wet. It'll go really well because it's so high in magnesiums that they're water-hungry molecule. But when you put a crystal of Celtic salt in your mouth, how big? About the size of a sesame seed. Your mucous membranes are absorbing those minerals. The magnesium is taken to the cell, and then you drink your water. That magnesium pulls the water inside the cell. It's the quickest way to hydrate a body, is to take that little bit of salt and that glass of water. But there's more. Inside this membrane, there's a little motor. And when the water rushes through the membrane, that little motor starts spinning and gives us a unit of energy. So when everyone mid-morning's running out for their coffee and their cigarette to give them a lift, you go and find a tree, breathe your nice, remember, LSD, low, slow, deep breaths, have your Celtic salt and your water, and you'll go back in revived. They'll go back in spun up, but then half an hour later, where are they? Crashed. So there's salt and there's salt. And one little old lady said, I was too scared to tell my doctor I was having salt. I just told him I was on a mineral supplement. You're the doctor here. If you've trained yourself out of salt, go lightly as you reintroduce that salt. Our palate tells us we need salt. We need salt. We need the minerals. Our bones, our blood is made of this. So what I'd like to look at now is blood thinners. I've read newspaper articles, supposedly health articles, that say everyone over the age of 50 should be on half an aspirin a day. Have you read that? To keep the blood nice and thin to prevent heart disease. Well, let me tell you the latest research on aspirin. It causes brain bleeds, contributing to dementia. It causes eye bleeds, contributing to deterioration of eyesight. It causes stomach bleeds, one of the biggest contributing factors to stomach ulcers. I'm not interested in any of that. The best blood thinners, and I can testify because I used to do the live blood analysis when I worked at Misty Mountain Health Retreat. And if someone had not drunk any water, their blood basically was in clumps. Like this. You see, the blood should be like this. So when the blood's like that, it's very difficult to read. So I would always presume I've spoiled the slide. It's very easy to spoil a slide. So 5 blood slides later, it's still like this, and I'd say, have you had any water to drink today? No. I didn't drink because I was travelling and I didn't want to have to keep stopping. And I had to say, well, I'm so sorry I cannot read your blood, but I'll read it in a couple of days. And as soon as they saw their blood and realised what was happening, they started drinking water. And then I look at their blood in a couple of days and it's nice and free.
Celtic salt, hand-harvested and mineral-rich, stands out for its unique magnesium content, magnesium sulfate, bromide and chloride. These water-attracting molecules make Celtic salt absorb moisture on rainy days. Here's the key. Placing a tiny crystal in your mouth allows minerals to absorb through mucous membranes, delivering magnesium directly to your cells. When you drink water, this magnesium pulls it into your cells, hydrating you faster than any sports drink. Forget coffee or sugary drinks. This is the real energy boost. While many fear salt, the right kind, like Celtic salt, is vital for health. Reintroduce it gradually and feel the difference.
And now I'm going to show you what you can do for a cough. And when a child or an adult, whatever age, gets a cold, it's not uncommon that they might cough for a few weeks. In fact, I've had ladies email me and say, my child had a cold and it's 2 weeks later and they're still coughing. And I write back and say, that's right. They will. But you know what? It'll pass. It'll pass. When the cough stops, it means it's done its job. So we're going to put this on the bottom of the feet. And we get a cloth and we put the chopped onion on. Depending on the size of the foot, maybe this was for a little 2-year-old, and you put the foot, the skin of the foot, straight onto the onion. And then you'll wrap this around the foot, or what some people will do is put a sock on and just put it down the sock. But then put a plastic bag on that and you leave it there all night. And I remember being with my daughter and her little boy James, he was 3 at the time. He had a cold and he was coughing. She gave him a hot bath and put him to bed. And he coughed and coughed. After half an hour, still coughing, because we just thought, he'll fall asleep in a minute. But we could see he wasn't going to fall asleep. So we got him up and we got a small onion, cut it in half and put one on each foot and put a sock over the plastic bag, I think, and put him back to bed. Not one more cough. Not one cough all night. You almost have to experience it to see how amazing it is. See, the biggest pores in the whole of your body are in the soles of your feet. And anything that touches the soles of the feet, the body will absorb. That's why I'm very fussy about my footwear and about my socks. Because you have nylon socks and your feet get hot, your body's going to absorb that nylon, the chemicals from the nylon. I'm also careful in the summertime what I put my feet on. I always have leather sandals. And this is also why barefoot walking is so good. You've probably heard about earthing, going barefoot on the grass. I'm probably a bit fussy about where I go barefoot on what grass. I'm not going to do that if there are dogs and putting their droppings there. There's a bit of common sense there. Now I'm going to make an onion cough syrup. So there's lots of things you can do with onion. So I've chopped up an onion and I'm going to put approximately a teaspoon of honey on top of there, and then another layer of onion, and then another teaspoon of honey, and another layer of onion. I'm starting to cry. If you don't cry when you cut up the onion, that's a worry. It must be an irradiated onion. And you keep doing this until you've filled your jar. This is just the right amount. And then you let that sit for 24 hours. After 24 hours, you will have a syrup. So this time tomorrow night, we can have a look at this, and you'll see that there's a syrup formed. So at the moment, we've just got this thick, gooey, sticky honey. Now on top, I should do about 2 teaspoons. At the moment, we've got layered in the jar, thick, sticky honey. And if I move it, I don't see any fluid there. I've just got thick, sticky honey and chopped onion. By the end of our lecture tonight, when I tip that up, you'll see a clear, fairly runny fluid. That's the syrup starting to form. And by tomorrow night, that's 24 hours, you'll see a fluid that comes up to about here. It'll be like an amber, very runny fluid, and that's your onion syrup. And you can strain your onion out, and you can keep that cough syrup in your fridge. Well, I don't know how long you can keep it in the fridge because it never lasted long in my house. But a German lady said, I've had a jar in my fridge for 8 years. Excuse me, the onion got my respiratory going. So that's the onion.
Honey, often called liquid gold, is rich in nutrients, enzymes and antibacterial properties, making it a soothing remedy for throat irritation and inflammation. Combined with Celtic salt, which is packed with essential minerals, this mixture helps clear mucus, hydrate airways, and reduce inflammation in the respiratory system. A simple blend of honey with a pinch of Celtic salt not only eases coughing, but also supports overall respiratory function. This natural remedy provides effective, gentle relief, promoting long-term respiratory health and comfort.
So what causes the insulin resistance? It's the high carbohydrate, high sugar diet. It's just the cell gets to the point where it says, we've got enough. Sick of the sight of you. So how to recover from insulin resistance is to get the glucose, those carbohydrates right down. Get the fibre up, the good proteins and the healthy fats. That's the best way to recover from insulin resistance. But you just imagine for a moment, and this is happening in America a lot today, people are not drinking enough water. They're not having the whole salt, and they're definitely not having many greens, which is where your magnesiums is. So the little bit of water they're having is not getting inside the cell. They don't go out in the sunshine because they're scared of getting skin cancer. So they're not getting their vitamin D, so the calcium can't get in and the minerals can't get in. And they're trying to lose weight, so they've listened to a lot of the media hype that you've got to stop the fat because fat will make you fat. So they're on a high carbohydrate diet. Remember what fat will do? It'll give you satisfaction or a satiation, a full feeling. But if you're not having any fat, you just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. The whole packet of cookies goes, the whole chips go. There's not a sign in your body that says enough. It's the fibre, protein and the good fats that will give you that sign. So they're on a high carbohydrate diet, thinking that if they go fat-free, they'll lose weight. And can you see what's happening? The water can't get in, the minerals can't get in, the glucose can't get in, and the body says, what are we going to do? Because remember, this is the CBD of the human body. What are we going to do? And the body says, we've got one last thing up our sleeve. We'll just force it into the cell. That's high blood pressure. So high blood pressure can be a result of dehydration. It can be a result of mineral deficiency, magnesium deficiency. It can be a result of vitamin D deficiency. It can be a result of a high carbohydrate, high sugar diet. It can be a result of inactivity. So there's a whole lot of things that can come together to contribute to high blood pressure. That's why the detective hat has to be put on to find out why these things are so. And in some cases it'll be a bit of this one, in some cases a bit of that one, in some cases other things. So let's begin at the mouth. Did you know that in a state of chronic dehydration, too much saliva is produced? Some people think a dry mouth is a sign of dehydration. It is, and too much saliva can be a sign of dehydration. You see, when not enough water is going into the body, and how much water should go in? Let's do an assessment of that. So our kidneys, to know how much water should go in, we need to look at how much is coming out. So in our kidneys, we urinate out 1.5 litre loss. Now, a litre is the same as a quart. So I'm probably best, because I'm speaking to an American audience, to say quart loss. 1.5 quart loss. Out of the skin, it can be 0.5 of a quart loss. Out of the colon, 0.3 of a quart loss. And out of the lungs, it's about a 0.2 of a quart loss. So that equals 2.5 quart loss every day. So 2 quarts is 8 cups. So that's 10 glasses, 8-ounce glasses of water a day is lost out of the body. And we have no reserve tank on the back, do we? The only water that's going in is the water we take in. So we should be drinking at least 2 quarts a day. At least, more if possible. Now at the moment, because you're having a steam sauna every day, I wouldn't be surprised if you've got a 0.8 of a quart loss coming out of your skin because you perspire profusely. The other half can come in your fruits and your vegetables, maybe your herb teas, vegetable juice through the day. So that's how much water we need. And Dr. Batman Gehaldi, he showed that the first place that we feel that water loss, if we're not replacing the water, the body goes into a form of drought management, and it releases a hormone to manage this drought management. It's called histamine. And if someone has an allergic response to something, what are they given? Antihistamines. You know the best antihistamine is just water. So the first place that water is taken from to try and maintain full blood volume in the veins and arteries is the lining of the stomach. We have a thick mucosa wall lining the stomach, and so now we've got a very thin mucosa wall. Now in that mucosa wall there's sodium bicarbonate, and the sodium bicarbonate is in the mucosa wall to neutralise any stomach acid that might try and get through, and basically protect against stomach ulcers. So what is a stomach ulcer? It's basically a breakdown of the tissues. Now let me give you a scenario here. It was probably about maybe 20 years ago, a couple of Australian doctors in Western Australia discovered that Helicobacter pylori caused stomach ulcers. You've heard of that theory? They even put Helicobacter pylori bacteria into some people's stomach and got stomach ulcers.
Combining Celtic salt with honey offers incredible benefits for respiratory health and cough relief. Celtic salt's rich mineral content, including magnesium and trace elements, works to balance the body's systems, while honey's natural soothing properties help calm the throat and reduce irritation. This duo supports the respiratory system by promoting hydration, reducing inflammation, and clearing mucus. A pinch of Celtic salt with a teaspoon of honey can ease coughing, improve breathing, and boost overall wellness. Unlike conventional remedies, this natural combination works in harmony with the body. And that's it, my friends. Incorporating Celtic salt and honey into your routine can truly transform your respiratory health and provide natural cough relief. It's simple, effective, and backed by nature's wisdom. If you found this helpful, don't keep it a secret. Like, share, and comment below to let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more natural health tips and remedies. Together, let's continue exploring ways to nurture our bodies and live our healthiest lives.